Sam, who would be your sweetheart? We'll start with number 6. Who would be your sweetheart in number 6 in the draft for the Detroit Lions?
So we have to talk realistic, obviously.
Yes.
I'm going to take Jalen Carter and Will Anderson
obviously,
off the table.
those would be everyone's choice.
Off the table. And I've already said before that I wouldn't be opposed to them drafting a Bryce Young if he falls. But I'm not going to go to those type of scenarios. I'm going to go with the guy that I have been touting from the beginning. A lot of people are not as high in him as me. But I'm going to, of course, go with Bryan Bresee of Clemson because one of the biggest needs for the Detroit Lions is an interior defensive lineman, a playmaking interior defensive lineman. I know Brad Holmes, I would say he hit on Aleem McNeil, but in the interior defense, and I know Isaiah Buggs obviously played
well.
Yeah, he did. He played well.
He was a happy surprise.
He was a happy surprise. But to me, I want them to go young. I want them to go with Bryan Bresee at number 6, and that's just because he's got talent that I believe is comparable to a Jalen Carter. He suffered an injury his sophomore year, and his time in Clemson just so happened to coincide with DJ Uiagalelei's time in Clemson, which means that they weren't going to the college football playoff. And why I'm saying that is because he didn't kind of get the national run or play in the college football playoff as much as previous Clemson players had, or as much as a Jalen Carter had. But Bryan Bresee to me has everything that you want. He's got great size, great speed. He's a guy that gets through the blocks and finishes tackles. He had 4 sacks his freshman year. He was the number 1 recruit in the country coming into Clemson. 6.5 tackles for loss. And then even last season, 3.5 sacks, 5.5 tackles for loss. Still didn't quite look like what he was before, but I'm hoping with another offseason, see what he does at the combine. It does scare me a little bit that he doesn't have a lot on tape from the past couple of years, and that he looks like the injury, he's not quite 100% healed from it. But I think a healthy Bryan Bresee is one of those guys that you look in 5 years and he has a resume and has a career that is every bit as good, maybe better than Jalen Carter's, because Bryan Bresee, just going off of the measurables, is almost the physical freak that Jalen Carter is. Yeah. And especially given the need for the Lions at defensive tackle, I would take Bryan Bresee at 6.
Okay.